Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. DBougie86 here again. And it's that time again, guys, for the DVD/Blu-ray update for the month of September. Yes, I'm doing this right now, guys, because I'm going to be uploading videos all October. But quick update on my podcast. Uncoordinated events happened, and I'm actually regrouping the podcast right now. So we are taking the month off of October to regroup because I had to find two new co-hosts and learn certain aspects of podcast making that I didn't learn before. So it's going to take some time. So while I'm doing like my 31 Days of Horror, I'm going to be regrouping with my two new co-hosts. You all both know them from YouTube, Dubby Doubles and You and Your Horror Movies, Matt Cantor. And we're going to bring the podcast back to life for you guys. Cinema Attack's going strong. And I'm going to keep the thing going for, like, because Brandon and Charlene were big inspirations for me to continue the podcast and to get into podcasting when we talked and did the podcast in general. And it sucks and kind of sad at the same time what happened. But we're all good. We no bad blood between us and nothing like that. It's just things happen and it sucks, but you know what I mean, guys. Shit happens. But Cinema Attack will be back after October, but I'll be doing the 31 Days of Horror, so yeah, so it would be fun if you guys could still support me in my endeavors, and thank you all who have my back. But let's get into the update. Starting with the DVDs. Now, I separated both the DVDs and Blu-rays from different sections. I have an Asian section for each update. Yes, I picked up a lot of Asian stuff. So, we'll start with those first and then get into standard stuff after that. Let's get into some Asian DVD stuff. First up, I finally knocked this one off the list. It's one that I've been wanting to check out for a while, and it's a Blood Pledge. If you don't know this film, this is actually part 5 in the Whispering Corridors series. Well, it was originally the Ghost School trilogy, but then they made 2 more of them. They made Voices and this one, The Blood Pledge. So I'm very stoked to check this one out because I'm a big fan of these films. Of course, they all involve like scenarios at a girls' school, of course. So yeah, stoked to check that one out. Next up, I actually did a trade with my good buddy Jonathan from the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror Facebook group. His stuff is still coming in the mail, so if you're watching this, Jonathan, I will send that as soon as I get it in. So be patient, and thank you for this in general, because this is a Godzilla film that I didn't have in my collection for the longest time, and it's actually ironic because it's actually the first Godzilla film I ever saw growing up, and that's insane, and that's Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I actually seen this under its other title, versus the Cosmic Monster, which is weird because the VHS. So I actually had 2 copies of this on VHS, one with like this title and one with the Cosmic Monster title. They're pretty much the same movie. I think the Cosmic Monster version actually edited some shit out of it. I could be mistaken. It's been a while since I saw that version. Next up, I picked up Death Bell 2, Bloody Camp. This is actually the sequel to Death Bell, which I actually reviewed on the podcast during our Korean show. So I'm very curious on this one, because I actually did kind of dig the first film. I really did enjoy it for what it was. So I'm curious to see this one for what it does, because after the last one ended, not giving too much away. But, yeah, next up, I picked up Yumazaki, aka Spiral. This is based off the Magma by E.G. Jarito. What the hell's his name? No, it's on the back of the other films. It's connected. It's based off of Magma. And, yeah, it's weird, bizarre shit. Kind of like some kind of like Lovecraftian bullshit happens in that film. Very weird. I gotta rewatch that one again. And, okay, here we go. Jun Ito wrote the original, like, manga. That's the word I'm looking for. Manga, not magna. Wow. Manga for Yu Miyazaki. And he also wrote the manga for these films. These are based off of Tomie, the first Tomie film. really interesting film. I actually really did dig this. Still gonna check out the others, which the next part of this is all Tomie. Tomie Another Face, which I believe is kind of like a TV series that they did. And it's like episodes from a TV series, like 3 episodes of a short-lived TV series based off Tomie. Can't wait to check that one out. Next up is the actual feature film, Replay Tomie. Yeah, and more Tomie stuff. Tomie Rebirth, which is actually directed by Takashi Shimizu, who directed Ju-On, and what the fuck's the other film that he did? Maribito, which I'm a big fan of. So I'm stoked to check out his take on the Tomie stuff. Tomie Forbidden Fruit, starring John Kinamara from The Whalen. Double feature of Tomie The Beginning and Tomie Revenge. Yeah. I think Tomie Beginning is like a prequel to the original. Next up is The Complex, which is from Hideo Nakata, who directed Ringu and like Dark Water. Stoked to check this one out. I actually had a free trial on Shudder, and didn't get a chance to check this out. This was actually on Shudder, so if you have Shudder, you could actually check that out on there. Next up is a film called Samurai Princess, which I know actually, I think Moods actually reviewed this on 22 Shots one time. I think a while ago when it was a listener then. But yeah, I always wanted to check it out. Finally got it in. I actually ordered the Blu-ray of that film because they did have a Blu-ray of it from eBay, and they sent me the DVD. They did reimburse me like half the money. I said, why not? I'll just keep the DVD. At least they reimbursed me some money for, you know what I mean? Because it was kind of mixed up and they didn't have any Blu-rays. So, shit on them. I got some money back, but whatever. I'll still keep it because it's just a film. It doesn't matter what quantity it's on, but you know what I mean. Next up is a UK Tartan Asian Extreme release of Into the Mirror, which is a Korean film that I always wanted to check out, and I finally figured out it had a release, but in the UK, which is weird. It doesn't have a US release. This is the film that actually, if you know the Alexandra Aja film Mirrors, is actually a remake of this film. So I'm very stoked to check out the original and see the differences and what they did take from this version, from the remake, and you know how remakes are in certain movies like that. Next up is R Point, which, if you've seen my last update, I picked up the film The Guard Post. This is from the same director. It's based in Vietnam. Very supernatural, like war horror stuff. Very psychological. Really good shit. If you enjoy like some war horror and you want to see more of it, that's one you have to check out. And last up for the Asian DVD stuff is Devilman, with that awesome glossy slipcover. This is also, I believe, based off of manga. Yeah, it is. I think it's anime too, actually. This is the live action version of that. Looks crazy and awesome at the same time, so I can't wait to check that one out. So that's it. Ooh, I'm dropping shit like crazy. Okay, that's it for the Asian DVDs. Now let's get into some standard DVD stuff. First up, I was gonna pick this Blu-ray up, but I'm like thinking because it's a film I never seen before, and it was like $30. You know, it was one of those Ronin Code Red slipcover ones, and it was $10. So I'm like, but then they released it on DVD. I got this from Grindhouse Video. They had it in already, and that is Revenge of the Dead, also known as Zeter. Now, that's an awesome cover art, but I know already that this cover art doesn't actually happen in the film. If you go and think, not knowing that, it's not a bad film. It has a mystery to it and what's going on with it. It's not like your typical like zombie film, pretty much, and it's kind of like played like a mystery thriller type deal. But I actually really enjoyed this because I knew going in that it wasn't like this cover. So yeah, really good film. I like Zeter. Next up is 2 Necrostorm films. First, The Mildew of Planet Xandar, which is actually like a remix version of the film Mold, with Guillermo del Santo, who directed certain scenes and added it to the actual film Mold. That I actually reviewed Mold back in the day on my channel. I forget what year it was or when it was, but it was a while ago. So, very stoked to check this out. I want to see what they do with it, because I'm a big fan of Necrostorm stuff. And I actually picked up this. I actually did a review of this film with the Wild Eye releasing edition of this film. But then I was reading like some things that Wild Eye actually didn't release that film without their permission. And they actually Widowmaker, which is through Bayview Entertainment, which has been released in a lot of like Necrostorm films exclusively. This is the legit release of Hotel Inferno, of course. Really good edition. It comes with a bonus soundtrack of like Necrostorm score stuff, and really stoked to have a legit release of it. Well, the Wild Eye one is legit too. It was just kind of like a sketchy release because of the shit that was going on with it when I was reading about it. So, you know what I mean, but whatever, at least I supported the company. Next up is The Secret of Dorian Gray by Massimo Dallamano. Haven't checked this one out yet. Actually, Moods actually reviewed this like a few podcasts ago. Very stoked to check that one out. Unearthed Films release of 3 Tears of the Bloodstained Flesh. Really stoked to check this out. It's like a American giallo. Looks cool as all hell. 2 Intervision titles. Suffer Little Children. I plan on reviewing this during the 31 Days of Horror. Yeah, it looks awesome. Dark Harvest with Escapes. Picked this up because I did a Patreon pick for The Burning Moon, and they paired it with this film. So I thought, why not check it out? Because I wanted to hear what they thought about it and watch the film, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this was awesome, actually. I actually did enjoy that one for what it was. It's not like the best shot on video film, but it was fun. I had to watch Escape still. Next up is Laser Blast, which I'm actually going to be reviewing on Body Bags tomorrow, so look out for that review. This film I actually haven't seen. I've seen clips of it on Mysterious Theater 3000 because they did an episode on it. And I know like The Secret of Leonard Moulton gave this film 3 stars. That was like the ongoing joke of that episode. So, yeah, I can't wait to check this one out. Of course, directed by Charles. No, it's actually not directed by Charles Van Michael Ray. Well, whatever. I'm going to check out Laser Blast tomorrow, so that's a foreshadowing. Next up, I actually got this in. This is the Indiegogo edition of Death Squad Service 2. Of course, Sean Donahue film, Sleazebox. I actually really enjoyed the first one, and this one's... I'm going to have a review coming up for this soon during the 31 Days of Horror. I want to rewatch this one again. Fuck, brutal shit in that one. Kill a Pinata, I got this from my homeboy Matt, aka You and Your Horror Movies. I'm going to do a review on this one too during the 31 days. Looks awesome. From what I saw in the trailer, it looks fucking batshit. Next up is The Red Suit. Don't know much about this one. It was another one that Matt sent me. I think he did a review on this one. I could be mistaken, but he might have. I'm not sure. It looks interesting enough. It has an interesting premise. Next up is another one that Matt picked up for me. Still gotta get the stickers off. Probably just gonna get New Cases. Prophecy, of course, John Frankenheimer film. Awesomeness. I actually do need this down the line because even though we extended like our break to October, we are gonna do those poll votes that we did on our Facebook group still as episodes. So look out for those in November. Next up, I picked up Stay Alive. This is actually originally supposed to be episode 6 of the podcast, but they got changed to the Halloween poll votes. But I haven't seen this since it came out, to be honest. I always wanted to revisit it. And last up is Brain Scan, which was also going to be paired with that. So that's a episode that never came about in my 4-episode goal of planning episodes with Charlene and Brandon. So you know how that happens. Okay, getting to some Blu-ray Izzle time. Blu-ray Izzles. Asian stuff first, guys. Picked up 2 88 Asia collection. First off, The Bride from Hell. Haven't watched this yet. Very stoked on it. Shaw Brothers, of course. Love me some Shaw Brothers stuff, especially their horror stuff. Awesome shit right there. Another Shaw Brothers, Seeding of the Ghosts. Pretty much like Black Magic 3. It was supposed to be Black Magic 3. It's its own entity, but you could see like the references to like why it would be considered a sequel to Black Magic at the same time. Super cool film. I'm gonna do a review on that one. Next up is Yakuza Apocalypse, Takashi Miike film. Fucking crazy shit, man. If you've seen this film before, guy in a frog suit. That's all you gotta know. Next up, I picked up the final Tomie film on Blu-ray from the UK, and that's Tomie Unlimited. Of course, directed by Noboru Oguchi with effects by Yoshiro Nishimura. Can't wait to check this one out. I can't wait to see what Oguchi does with this storyline. Oguchi's nuts. Excuse me. And I picked up 4 anime films. Ghost in the Shell, of course, is the original. Classic. Awesome shit. If you like cyberpunk, that shit's the balls. Next up, Perfect Blue. Awesome film. Shout out to my boy Jerry from Kill the Cast. Recommending this film and actually having Brandon and Moods reviewed on their other podcasts. Doing a review on it itself with Wicked City. Check out that show. I'll leave the link below for in the iTunes feed or like on the Horophilia page. I'll leave a link to that show. Check out the review for Perfect Blue. It's fucking awesome. I might actually review it too. It's very good stuff, guys. Next up, picked up Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust on Blu-ray. Of course, this is from the director of Wicked City and Ninja Scroll. Was actually very shocked that it came with this nice slipcover. The slipcover is fucking awesome. I got that from Right Stuff, which is like a anime store. They specialize in like anime films and stuff. And I picked up Akira. Very stoked. JP reviewed this on the podcast. Of course, Jerry Patreon pick. Never seen this film before. Yes, it's one I haven't seen before. Been wanting to check it out. Gonna check it out. Don't know if I'm gonna get to it because of the 31 Days of Horror. But awesome sauce right there. And now that's it for the Asian Blu-rays. Now onto some standard stuff. First up, Island of Terror. Did a review on this on Body Bags. Check out my review, Terrence Fisher Goodness. That's from Scream Factory. These next 2 are Scream Factories also. The Angry Red Planet. Of course, this is written by Sidney Pick, who actually directed Reptilicus. I remember this iconic like space monkey rat or bat thing. So yeah, I can't wait to revisit that one. The Man from Planet X. Been curious on this one. Really getting into some like old school like 50s, 60s like sci-fi films. I was been big fan of those. It came from space, outer space. Yeah, some good shit right there. The Earth Dies Screaming, of course, from Terrence Fisher also. Love this film with a passion, man. This film has some great atmosphere. I really did enjoy this. Awesome shit right there. I might do a review on that down the line. Maybe on Body Bags. The Terror from Outer Space. Classic, like a pregame to Alien. If you're a fan of Alien, this is kind of like a film that was inspired Alien pretty much. One of its influences. Check that out again. The Deadly Bees, Amicus film directed by Freddie Francis. Actually, the screenplay for this is by Robert Bloch, who wrote Psycho. So that got me curious. The Beast from 20,000 Phantoms, classic. Upgraded it finally. Have it on a 2-disc DVD with them. I'm going to upgrade them too, so I'm stoked to check this one out to see how the transfer is. Prevenge. Big fan of this film. I watched it online, so I picked up a legit copy from the UK, from Kaleidoscope, which is the company that I believe released it. Of course, this chick's awesome, Alice Lowe, who's from Sightseers. Awesome performance. Another film I haven't seen yet, Raw. Gonna check it out. Probably gonna review this during the 31 Days of Horror, so can't wait to check that one out. Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know my thoughts on this film if you listened to the last podcast episode where we paired this up with Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Love that film with passion. It was the first time watch for me. Stephen King's It. Saw the remake in theaters. Really enjoyed it, so I picked up the original. I actually kind of like the remake, which is the first part of this one, of course. So if you know, like, they do the kid part first. Everyone's seen it already, probably. But I really did enjoy that for what it was. I actually loved it, especially in the theater with all the atmosphere and just the goodness of the movie. But I still do enjoy the original because nostalgia reasons. I still like it. I think the new one might be a little more darker, if that makes any more sense. But I do enjoy the original too. I could have both in my life, you know what I mean? Next up, I got this in the review from Artsploitations. Red Christmas, going to have a review for this soon. During the 31 days, of course. Been stoked to check this one out. D. Wallace. Awesome stuff. Wrath of Crows. Moose is a big fan of this film. Finally picked up the Film Rise Blu-ray. It was only $10. Really stoked for that. I don't know how much the DVD was going for. I know it was a lot more than $10, so stoked for that. Next up is Tenement, Game of Survival, Shriek Show Blu-ray. Stoked to check this one out. I know my boy Andy, Retro Slasher, was actually messaging me. This is fun cheese, man. One of the best watches of the year for me. So I can't wait to check this one out. It looks awesome. And last up for the update, and the update of the finale is the Piranha Second Sight Steelbook. It was on sale in Zave, so I picked it up. $10. I'm like, whoa, nice. Stoked to check this out. I actually did watch this. Love the transfer. It's great special features. I believe it's all the same features that are on the Shout Factory release. But I just love that steelbook art, man. There's just something about it that intrigued me. It was only $10 too, so that's why, you know what I mean. But that is it for the update, guys. As always, I'll be back tomorrow with numerous videos. I got to do a body bags review too during my first day of the 31 Days of Horror. So I hope to see you during that. And as always, I'll see you next time, peeps, which is going to be very soon. Peace out.